Bianca Belair brushed past Rude and Ziggler in the back, and that was Rude and Ziggler's entire appearance on tonight's show. And that takes us to the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Belair and Carmella.
Can you explain this to me? Okay, so this backstage little interaction between Rude and Ziggler. It was Rude and Ziggler asking Bianca Belair to tell Carmella that they said hi. And Rude specifically wanted to know if Carmella has a sister, right? So this is supposed to I suppose be a some sort of play off of Carmella calling herself the most beautiful woman in the WWE. So now not only is she calling herself that, we're supposed to believe that the roster in the back believes that to be the case as well, and they're trying to, catch her attention that way. Is that the story? She's not just delusional. She actually is the most beautiful woman in the WWE.
Well, yes, the heels buy this.
Right, okay.
But what weird game, though, to try and go through the rival of Carmella.
So that is the thing. Be that it's fine, yeah, okay, have the heels want to I don't know, date Carmella, sure. But I don't know why you do this with Bianca Belair. It just to me, I feel like there's so many other people that you could have just, it's because Bianca's talking to Carmella, but to me, it puts that attention away from Bianca. I feel like they should be fawning over Bianca, instead of just using her as sort of telephone to talk to the girl that they actually want to date.
Well, she's married. They have morals.
Well, isn't Carmella dating somebody too?
Not on SmackDown.
You're right. The character of Carmella is
yes, the character. They're not is not involved, at least on here. Although tonight, the character of Baron Corbin is suddenly married with a child. So that was new information for the character.
Was he not before?
There's been no mention of a Baron Corbin wife prior to tonight.
Baroness.
So early on, after Belair chases her, Belair does her usual taunt, and Pat McAfee informs us, Belair is just saying, kiss my ass. That was all over the place on this show. I didn't know what to make of him on the
You're allowed to say kiss my ass on Fox, aren't you?
Yeah, you certainly can. It was just more so Pat McAfee's delivery that was rather amusing.
I liked him.
Carmella hit a top rope Hurricane Rana and then went for the leech. She had the one-arm guillotine, and Pat McAfee compared it to Conor McGregor going for it on Saturday. I would argue Carmella had a better chance here because she applied it with a closed guard.
That is right, yeah, and they weren't up against the cage.
No, this was not a bad strategy by Carmella. Belair deadlifted her, though, into a vertical suplex, so Dustin could have learned from that particular escape. And it was identified as a Davey Boy Smith delayed vertical suplex by Pat.
You think intentional?
He had probably just seen him an hour and a half before this. Maybe. Carmella grabs her by the ponytail to kick at her, and then, in a first, Belair makes her comeback with her hair, whipping Carmella in the stomach to set up the KOD, and wins in 11 minutes and 11 seconds. So the comeback was the hair whip.
Her secondary move now is the hair whip.
It'll be the finisher by the fall.
Sure. Yeah, it'll be her ultimate finisher, like her burning hammer. Her the one she only pulls out on rare occasions. I think it's great. I actually thought this was a good match. Now that she's been in the role for a few months, I felt Bianca here felt very comfortable, felt like a very confident champion. She feels like somebody who feels like she's deserving of the role and not just somebody who's playing the role. Crowd was with her from the beginning, and I feel like they've honed in on several key things about her matches that help her stand out from the rest. One being that really good display of power with that vertical deadlift, delayed vertical suplex coming off the guillotine, and the hair whip tease and execution got a great reaction. Everybody remembers that Sasha Banks spot. So them using it now on a regular basis, I think, is really great. I think Carmella did a great job in this match too. She was not afraid to work a bit more snug, hard slap off the top, grabbed everybody's attention immediately. This was never meant to be a big money match, but I think as a TV match, it's perfect. It was simply meant to showcase Bianca Belair in front of a live crowd, and I thought Carmella provided a great opponent for that role.
Yeah, and I think now this clears the way for whatever Belair's program is for SummerSlam, and you shoot that angle next week.
Yeah. I think it's got to be Sasha.
I think they've set the table for it with the, showing the SB footage throughout the week. I think it makes a lot of sense next week for Sasha to make her return and confront her. I think that's pretty simple, and the rematch is in Vegas.
Yep. Beyond that, like it could be, I suppose it could be Becky. I almost feel like you saved the Becky one because like Sasha Bianca is hot right now. The rematch is hot right now. You're gonna do it in front of fans. I think you do it now.
You also need some stars on Raw. Badly. Yes. Like that Raw women's division is like, where are you going next with that one?
Well, but Seth is on SmackDown. Do you think that plays into anything?
I think it's less of a issue now. I mean, that traditionally they have tried to keep couples together, but again, it's like we are going back to events. It's also not the full schedule where it would mean, 4 shows a week and you're on the road for 5 of those, for instance.
Well, I'm curious about Becky's schedule too now. Now that she's got a brand new baby at home. Do they get, and she is the level of star where I could see them giving her a relaxed schedule.
It's possible. Like it might, for logistical reasons, mean she's on SmackDown, and in that case, that is a fresh match with Bianca. But then it's I could not see Sasha and Becky being on the same show. Like I do think you want to distribute that star power.